Hi everyone, thank you for watching. I am Shannon and today I'm very excited because this is going to be the first in a series of videos that I am doing on how to pick a room and how to request a room at a Walt Disney World resort. So this is going to be using Touring Plans. I got my Touring Plans t-shirt on. I will be wearing this in probably every video because I'm going to be filming these quite a bit and trying to help. And it's one, giving you some tips as far as which are those unicorn rooms, you know, those rooms that you can get for really cheap points or are considered standard but have a spectacular view. But then also, what are things to consider? Personally, for us as a family, we've learned just from trial and error, we prefer ground floor rooms. Before I was always focused on the view, but we never looked out the window. We didn't really enjoy, we like to avoid taking the elevator. So those are some tips that I'll be going through in all of these videos, and especially today. So the first resort we're going to cover is the first DVC stay we had as a family, and where I learned some really crucial mistakes, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and that is Boulder Ridge Villas at Wilderness Lodge. So if you're unfamiliar with Boulder Ridge, it is the original DVC property at Wilderness Lodge. There's also Copper Creek. I will do that in a separate video, but this is Boulder Ridge, and I will focus on Boulder Ridge solely. So a little bit about the room structure. I'm not going to go into the the resort and specifics about the resort. You can find that on a lot of other videos. I'm not going to worry about that, but I'm going to some specifics about the room categories. So with Boulder Ridge, there is no room view category. It's just studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. So that makes it really easy as far as trying to select a room, because you really don't have to choose between like a room category, but it also opens you up to a lot of different choices. So with studios, there are 20 dedicated and 45 lock-offs. But 1 bedrooms, there's 27 and 45 lock-offs. And then 2 bedrooms, there's 44 dedicated and guess what? 44 lock-offs. So lock-offs are basically, a 2-bedroom lock-off is a 1 bedroom and a studio, and they can be, you know, rented as or sold as a 2-bedroom or split into a 1 bedroom and a studio. So the difference with that, if you don't know really quick, is that a 2-bedroom dedicated, the 2nd bedroom will have 2 queen beds, whereas the the lock-off will have the studio. So we'll have the little kitchenette, we'll have the queen bed, but then we'll have the pull-out. So it just depends on your family dynamic, who you're having, and you know what you're looking for. Boulder Ridge Villas has no grand villas. So that, for me, it doesn't affect my family because we're never gonna be able to afford a grand villa, but I know that some people do look for those grand villas, but Boulder Ridge does not have them. So let's get into the Touring Plans website, and looking at the map, I'm going to give you some tips as far as which rooms are kind of special in a way, and then which rooms I've discovered which ones to ignore. So before we get into selecting a room at Boulder Ridge Villas, we're going to just take a look at touringplans.com's page dedicated to Boulder Ridge. And you can see here there's a lot of information. I'm not going to go over it, but there's a lot of information if you want to learn more about Boulder Ridge. We'll post a link to this room tour. This was done in 2019, I believe, and it also is an accessible studio. So there's not a lot of videos of accessible studios, so this will give you an idea just in case that's something that you might need. Here we have the picture, so let me pull up these pictures. So this is a studio, and there's the queen bed. This is a pull-out. I believe this opens and provides additional storage. Then you can see here, this is a table and chairs, but then it pulls down and becomes a Murphy bed. It is perfect for little ones. We have a 4-year-old and he loves sleeping on these. Then we also have, this is a 1 bedroom, room 1556. You can see the light that comes into this room. We had a room on the 5th floor and it was so dark. So we'll talk a little bit about that in a second, but just keep that in mind. And here's more pictures of a 1 bedroom. So there is the living room kitchen and the king bed that's in the 1 bedrooms. And this is the room layout. So the ones that are white is the 1 bedroom. Here's the king bed that we just saw, the living room, kitchen right here. And you have two entrances to the bathroom right here. And then this gray part is the studio. And you can see that there's a connecting, and when they connect, it makes it what's called a 2-bedroom lock-off. Boulder Ridge has both dedicated 2 bedrooms and 2-bedroom lock-offs. There are 45 studios and 45 1-bedrooms that are considered lock-offs. So that means there are 45 2-bedroom lock-offs. So what that means is if you get a 2-bedroom lock-off, you're going to basically get 2 rooms with 2 separate entries. Whereas if you get a dedicated 2-bedroom, this studio portion will have 2 regular queen-size beds rather than the studio option. So just kind of keep that in mind. But if you have 9 people, the 2-bedroom lock-off can technically sleep 9 because you have the queen bed, the pull-out, and then the Murphy bed twin right here. So just kind of keep that in mind. Let's click out of that. And then this is more information for Boulder Ridge. So there's a lot of information for Boulder Ridge on touringplans.com that you can access there. So here is a map of all of Wilderness Lodge. This includes Wilderness Lodge, Boulder Ridge Villas, and Copper Creek Villas. So you can see which ones are, you can see by the arrows which one represents which. This white building right here is Boulder Ridge. But just to give you an idea of an overview of the resort, just in case you don't know, this is the main lobby. So this is the entrance. Right around here is Whispering Canyon Cafe. Roaring Fork, I believe, is right around here, as is Artist Point. Geyser Point is around here. And this is, I believe, Reunion Station, which is right now closed, but hopefully it'll be reopened. This is the marina where you can rent boats. And this is where the boat to Magic Kingdom is. So that kind of gives you a perception of where everything is. This is the main pool with, I think it's called something Springs. I can't remember, but this is the main pool. This has the small slide and also the little splash pad for the kids. This is the quiet pool or DVC pool. And what I like about this one is that it's fairly new, so it also has a 0 entry. Many of the quiet pools are just traditional, almost square, basic pools. This is a really nice DVC quiet pool. So I think they're both pretty nice. And this, obviously, you have the cabins over here and the cabins over here. We will not be talking about those today, but that gives you an overview of the resort. Also, you'll see right here this is where the buses is. And that's the benefit of being on the Boulder Ridge side, is it's really, really close to the buses. So if you're in this end right here, you have a very short walk to those buses. Get into the actual room selection at Boulder Ridge. So you can see here the room type. You want to make sure, now there is no room view category. So I think this is here. So if you want a pool view room, you can see that. But really, there are no views categories. So this is just to help you select if you wanted something that was woods or pool. I'm not sure if there was once a category like this, but right now there is not. So let's look at all 2 bedrooms, because I want to talk about some very special, unique 2 bedrooms that people rave about. So first of all, take a look at this, and you can look at the first floor. So this is all 2 bedrooms, and you can see right here. Now, all of these 2 bedrooms are 1 bedroom with a studio. So these are all considered lock-offs. If you are looking for a dedicated 2 bedroom, just keep in mind that you will not be on the first floor. So if you are a person like my family that likes to be on the ground floor and you are in a 2 bedroom, then you would need to be in a 2 bedroom lock off. So just keep that in mind. But we are going to go up now to floor 2, and you will see here this room right here, and you can see how it's oddly shaped. And we're just going to click out of that, gives you the view, but it's oddly shaped. These rooms, and the numbers are 2528, 2519, 3519, 3528, 4519, and 4528. These are corner rooms. So from what I've heard, and I have searched high and low for pictures or videos of these rooms, I cannot find them. So if you've ever been in one of these rooms and have pictures, please send them to me and I will update this video and so that somebody can see. But I've heard that these rooms are fantastic because they're oddly shaped and they give a lot of space. These are available on the second, third, and fourth floor. So there are 6 of them in all of Boulder Ridge. Keep in mind that there are 89 2-bedrooms. So 6 out of 89, not horrible odds, but again, it's kind of that unicorn room. But if you're looking for a little extra space, these rooms are going to give it to you. So with that, we are going to now go up to the 5th floor and look at 1-bedrooms. And you can see these 2 rooms again. This is 5519 and 5528. So again, the same 3 digits, just the first number has changed because of the floor. So 519 and 528 are the rooms. These, however, are 1-bedrooms. So these 1-bedrooms, again, I cannot find a picture. I've seen messages about these rooms and how they're great because they're a little bigger, because they're oddly shaped. So they've got this corner room, a lot of light, a lot of balcony, but I cannot find pictures or video. But I've heard great things about these 2 rooms. Keep in mind, there are only 2 of them, and there are, 72 1-bedrooms, if I do my math correctly. So there's 72 1-bedrooms and there's only 2 of these. So you've got like a 1 in 36 chance of getting one of these rooms. And I say that because the first time we stayed, actually the only time we stayed at Boulder Ridge, I asked for either one of these rooms. We didn't get it. Instead, we got this room, which is 23. There it goes. It pops up. So if you pop it up, and you will see there are some views here, and you will see my comments that I left on 12/19/2017. View was amazing, but that is the only pro for this room. Vaulted ceilings, which caused us to bang our heads several times. The balconies are closed, so you have to stand to see water parade, and it also causes the room to be darker than usual. Would never stay in this room again. And that is, I still feel to this day that I would never stay in that room again because it was awful. So I'm going to post some pictures that I found online of this room, and you'll see right here, this is the room view inside the living room. So you can see the vaulted ceilings right there. And this is the bedroom. So there's the vaulted ceilings right there. And as you can see, it takes up a lot of space of the room. It made the room feel a lot smaller. And then this is the balcony. So you can see it's enclosed. So you can't just sit out on the balcony and enjoy the view because you can't see anything. You have to stand up to see anything. And here's another view of the balcony from the side. So these pictures are from 5530. I'm going to attach the link to the video of someone that did a room tour of this video on YouTube. So I'm going to post their link below. But you can give you an idea. They seemed to love the room, and we didn't mind the room until we kept banging our head, and we were there for 7 nights, and we realized it was just really, really dark. I had requested again, I wanted to be on the 5th floor. I wanted to be able to watch the water pageant from our room, and I will tell you, after the first night, it got old, and it also became a little annoying because we had a 2-year-old trying to get him to sleep, and that music would come at 10 o'clock and would wake him up. So just kind of, again, keep that in mind. You know, if I had a 2-year-old, I would probably ask to be on this side of, just so that it would break up the volume from the water pageant. But, you know, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't what I expected it to be. So now we're back at the first floor of Boulder Ridge, and we're going to talk about some things to consider when selecting your room. So you'll take a look here, And right here, there's this open space. This is the lobby of Boulder Ridge Villas. So if you've ever seen that beautiful, smaller Christmas tree, there's that huge one in Wilderness Lodge, but there's always a smaller one. This is where it is. There is also a concierge desk right here. This person was very, very helpful when I was trying to make some reservations. I was pretty much a Disney novice in 2017. So that person helped me make some dinner reservations when we had some family decide to come over and visit us. You'll see right here are the elevators. So keep in mind that these are the elevators. So if you're on the 5th floor and you're in one of these rooms, the end at, let's say it's 5558, you're going to have a considerable walk. Not like Animal Kingdom Lodge, but you're going to have a nice walk. So keep that in mind. Also right here is the gym. So if you are someone who likes to go to the gym on vacation, that is where you want to be. And then you have the quiet pool is right out here. You have around this area would be the cabins. So that first row of cabins would be over on this side. And you'd have the marina probably around here and Reunion Station around here as well. Now coming out of here, you'll see that nice walkway right here, and the buses are right around here. And then there is a small door. You can't really see it here, but there is a small door. So keep that in mind. Most people don't use it. Most people go into the main entrance right here. But if you have, I actually had a friend that stayed in this room, and at first she didn't like it, but then she ended up loving it because they were literally right near the exit and were able to be right next to the buses. So that is a great spot, especially if you just plan on using the buses quite a bit. It's a great spot. Now, looking back at the map of Boulder Ridge Villas, you'll see here, look on the side here where you have filters. So here are the filters that you can use to determine which room. So especially if you need something that's accessible, here has some of the options here, and this will tell you which room are the ones that are accessible that you can request. Sound level as well, quiet or moderate. Do you want to be on an upper floor? Do you want to be on a ground floor? Walking distance to transportation. So you have some options here. And now I would say 3 minutes or less from either one of these is for distance to lobby or distance to transportation. It's probably going to be a little bit more than that because it's a walking distance, at least 3 minutes, even from the closest room. So just keep that in mind. But I would also say is make sure you are requesting your room type. It's not so difficult here because there's not different views. It's just studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. But when you get into some of the rooms or some of the buildings that have different type of like preferred or standard, always make sure you are requesting your room type, because if you're requesting a room that you did not book, you're not going to get it, and then they're not going to know where to put you. So always make sure you're requesting the room type that you booked. So let's look here. We're going to do, let's say we're going to do a 1 bedroom. So let's do a 1 bedroom, and we like to be on the ground floor, which I have mentioned before. And this is going to give me all the 1 bedrooms. So if I had to do it again, I would absolutely request a ground floor room. Those corner rooms, I'm sure, are amazing, but there are only 2 of them. And 2 out of 72 rooms, the odds just aren't in our favor. So I know I will be happier on the furthest ground floor room than I would be in a room on the 5th floor, which they may put me in if we didn't get one of those other rooms. So if I had to do it over again, and we will probably stay at Boulder Ridge again, I would actually request probably this room right here. This would be considered the pool view. These trees are now gone, so that's probably where I would request. And because 1, it's still got a nice view of the pool. The gym is right here. It's really close to this entrance and this entrance right here. And this also is a little exit as well, which will bring you out to the pool, to Geyser Point, all of that closer to the marina, etc. So that would be the room that I would request. Again, if it was a studio, I would probably request 1505. And if I were in a 2 bedroom, I would probably want a lock off, because you would get that little extra kitchenette. But so I would probably just request this room right here. But kind of keep that in mind. That is what I would request. Now, if you don't want a first floor room, and let's say you like high floors, let's look at number 5. So again, when I first stayed at Boulder Ridge, the reason why we wanted the 5th floor was to have that view of the water pageant. It's great. It is fantastic. If you think you're going to stay and enjoy it every night and you don't have little ones, then it's fantastic. It was really nice to kind of just sit there and watch it. I know these rooms right here have regular balconies, so would definitely be able to enjoy it. Like I said, our room right here did not have a regular balcony. It had a balcony that was enclosed, so even to enjoy the pageant, we had to stand up, which wasn't really relaxing. So these rooms, now let's say you like high floors, but you don't want to watch the pageant every night, or you're afraid it's going to keep you up, then maybe be on this side right here. So this would be the evening numbers, because you're facing more of the woods and the parking lot, and would probably be a little quieter as well. So I think that side, anything with an even number would be quieter. And just to kind of give you an idea as well, that room that we saw where I said had a lot of light is this room right here, 1556. And you can see the little road. This road does lead to Fort Wilderness. I know it was blocked for the building of reflections. I don't know if it's been reopened, but it's really nice. Now let's say we're going to request this room. In 56, you would see here, you say, click here to make room request during your upcoming sample trip. We're going to click right here where it says here, and that is going to bring you to your dashboard, which I have now switched to Boulder Ridge already, and it automatically populates the room 1556. So then I'm going to go to configure room request. There's my name. I would put my reservation in here. It automatically populates the number of nights that you have saved in your dashboard. So if that's different, this is my fake email. And then it populates this. So it says Boulder Ridge, floor 1, southwest facing room examples, and it gives examples of similar room types. So leave this the way it is. I don't know why it's done this way, but I know there's a reason. I believe the room assigners gave touring plans basically the coding of how they used to assign rooms. So basically they're going to look, okay, this person requested 1556. It's not available, but let's say 1554 is. So they're going to go down and 1554, and that's the room they're going to assign you. So keep that in mind, as long as 1554 is also a 1-bedroom, same category, etc. Now, additional information, this was where I would put the most important information. So let's say number 1 for me, oops, that's an explanation point. Number 1 would be ground, I can't spell, ground floor room. That is number 1. So now when they look at this, they know that my priority is to get a ground floor. And let's say furthest from lobby. Let's say I don't want to be near the lobby. So I've put furthest from lobby. And now I've given them 2 reasons of why I selected this specific room. And now they have an idea. So if this room is not available, they have an idea of what exactly I am looking for. I cannot tell you how crucial that is, because the likelihood of this specific room, again, is going to be very low. You have to have the odds that whoever was in that room before you is checking out the same day you are checking in. So you need to give them examples of what exactly you're looking for, and they will try and accommodate you. I will tell you, a lot of people say they don't even look at these, they ignore them. I disagree. I think it's just a matter of there's only so much they can do, and if they don't know what you're looking for, they need to know why did you pick room 1556. So that is it. That is my recommendations and some things to consider when making your room request through touring plans for a room at Boulder Ridge Villas. So just take into account whether or not you're going to be in your room a lot, whether or not you're going to be using the bus, etc. Those are all things to consider. And also just remember that whenever you're using touring plans, and one of the great features is that you can click these rooms, click on the picture, and it is going to give you a picture of the actual view from that room. So it is one of the great features of touring plans that no one else has. So you can really get a full idea of what it's going to be like in that room. So let me know what you think. What are your rooms? What are your favorite rooms at Boulder Ridge? So just to kind of recap also, the special corner rooms, 2 bedrooms, they are 2519, 2528, 3519, 3528, 4519, 4528, and then the special 1-bedroom corner rooms are 5519 and 5528. To avoid, we're on the 5th floor. If you're in a studio, try to avoid rooms 5521 and room 5526. I expect that both of these have that enclosed balcony that would also limit lighting. And then for the 1 bedrooms, the room that we had was 5523. The room that I showed a link to is 5530, as well as those pictures. And I'm expecting these two to be similar, so I would say try to avoid these as well, and that is 5517 and 5524. These are the rooms to avoid. These are the 2 special corner rooms that are going to give you unique space. I believe part of their balcony is enclosed, but another part is open. So it doesn't have necessarily the lighting issue. And then also you're going to have additional space. So that's it. Those are my suggestions and things to consider when looking for a room at Boulder Ridge Villas using the touringplans.com subscription. So that's all I can give you on Boulder Ridge Villas. Now, after I filmed this, someone did tell me that the corner rooms at the end, furthest from the lobby, I think it's 1558, sometimes has a dumpster view. So the person had stayed there during the construction of Copper Creek, so they weren't sure if the dumpster view is still there, but just something to consider. You may want to try to avoid if you think that area is going to be quiet, and that would be not facing the lake. It would be facing, I guess, the parking lot. So just kind of keep that in mind. But hopefully you take this advice, figure out what works for you, request it, use Touring Plans, the room request service. Make sure you get that room request 30 days before your trip so they can get it to Disney and you can get the room you want. So with that, if you like this video, make sure to click like and click and subscribe and ring the bell. Forgot to ring the bell. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.